Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and I hope you guys stay tuned until the end. My name is Esther Vincent, also known as LiaMia on social media. Do follow me over there, would love to get you guys up. How are you guys doing? I hope wherever you are and whatever it is that you guys are doing, it is going on well, good, swell for you people. So here I am, back again after the longest break ever. I know. Well, I just had many events going on in my life. Many things were going on in my life. One of the very important thing is I got married. Yes. So I stopped uploading videos 1 month before my wedding because I was just crazy busy. I had so many things to do. So I was concentrating on that. And I thought right after my wedding, maybe I'll take 2 to 3 weeks extra of rest and then I'll start uploading back again. Well, that didn't happen. I didn't take 2 to 3 weeks, but I took about 3 months. I know, I'm a little ashamed to admit to it, but yeah, I just had too many things to settle down after our wedding, the house, and juggling all this with my full-time job. It was just a hard juggle. Yeah, it was just hard to find a time to sit and record. But I decided, no, I'm not gonna stop it. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do it. So here I am, finally found a time to sit and record, and I hope I will stay consistent. Okay, without blabbering much, let's go to today's story. But before that, if you guys have not catched my previous video, which I have uploaded many weeks ago, my last uploaded video, which was Hantu Raya. Hantu Raya is a ghost believed in my country, Malaysia. Do catch that video as well. Give that video a view, a like, if you guys liked it. The previous video's link, I will have it in the description box below. You guys can click on that as well. Thank you. Today, I would be talking about the all-famous Highland Towers of Selangor, Malaysia, and its fatal collapse in the year 1993. The Highland Towers were residential buildings located in Taman Hillview, Ulu Klang, Selangor, Malaysia. It was built phase by phase from the year 1974 to 1982. The Highland Tower consists of 3 blocks, 3 buildings, and it was constructed somewhere around a steepy, slopey hill. These towers those days were home to the affluent, upper middle class families. So, like I mentioned, the Highland Towers were built on a hill. So, before they start building or started the construction of the Highland Towers, they would have to clear up the land. So, what they did, they cut off the trees, the plants, whatever that was holding on to the sand. And this automatically made the soil more prone to erosion. They were not stable enough. Supposedly, I thought before starting building any sort of a building, even though they're cutting off the trees, they've got to make sure the foundation's strong, but land, you just can't predict. Talking about land erosion, I think you guys by now could already come to an understanding that the Highland Towers collapsed due to soil erosion. If that is what you're thinking of, then you are right. Yes. Soil erosion, land erosion was the reason the building collapsed, but let's come to that slowly. The soil erosion problem started even before the beginning of the Highland Towers constructions. So even before the Highland Towers were built, there was already some soil erosion problem because water from the nearby stream was diverted to bypass the building site of Highland Towers. The piping under the land, under the soil, was said to be not good enough to support both the creek's water as well as the water from the construction site together, because it's not just water, it comes together with soil and sand and dirt and all of that. So the piping that was underground was said to be not strong enough. It's just not strong enough to take the capacity of all the water from the creek as well as the water from the construction site. Soon the pipe underground burst in few different locations, making the soil under block 1 of the Highland Towers much more muddier. They were just not sturdy enough because they've got excess water and the land was just absorbing all this water due to the burst pipes. And so the land was just not stable. To make matters worse, in December 1993, Malaysia, especially the area where the Highland Towers were, experienced heavy rain. It was just crazy rain, a thunderstorm, more water. This caused the soil or the land under Tower 1 of the Highland Towers to become even more muddy, even more unstable. And soon enough, people started to see waters actually flowing down from the slope of the hills where the buildings are located. That's a very bad signal already. If you're staying in a building and you see, like, the waters are coming down and you can see muddy slides, that's not a good signal. That's not a good sign over there. It's time for you to pack up and move. And finally, once the heavy rain stopped, the landslides began. First, it destroyed the retaining walls behind the first block, behind block number 1. Car park, there's like a retaining wall. It started pushing that wall away. It was later discovered that about 100,000 cubic meters of mud, soil, and land had actually moved the first block's foundation forward. Can you believe that? This is like the building and this is the foundation. So about 100,000 cubic meters of mud was just pushing it, and it was going forward, so meaning the tower was basically leaning. That is crazy. All this was happening while there were people residing in this building. Oh my God. I think it was just ever so slowly so that they don't feel it. That's crazy. The pressure on Tower 1's foundation was growing immensely, and soon after, the foundation actually cracked. No longer being pushed, it cracked. By now, some of the Block 1 or Tower 1's residents have already evacuated because they started seeing all the signs, cracked retaining wall, the parking lots, walls were having cracks, and they were just having some funny feelings. So some of them actually evacuated or left the building 1. Lucky for them. Signs and damages were apparent everywhere around Block 1 or Tower 1 of the Highland Towers for several days, but no actions were taken until the fateful day. December 11th, 1993 at about 1:30 in the afternoon, Block 1 or Tower 1 of the Highland Towers finally collapsed, burying all its occupants under tons and tons of debris. 2 Indonesians and a Japanese woman were the first 3 survivors to be rescued. Unfortunately, the Japanese woman died later on due to internal bleeding caused by her injuries. Rescue work started immediately, and on the 13th of December 1993, more help came from a Japanese disaster relief team and also from a French team, who are a specific team that works with disasters as well. Trained dogs were brought into the scene to sniff out any survivors who are stuck all the way inside the tons and tons of building debris. On the 15th of December, it was deemed that a specific part of the collapsed building was safe enough to go through by the rescuers, and they were able to go in and help 2 other survivors. Many rescuers found notes that was written and tied up to the elevator's warriors and all of that requesting for help or begging for help, which they suspect would have been from the fourth floor or from the fifth floor, but no survivors were found. Knocking sounds or hitting of the bricks was heard throughout the rescue mission as well, but the rescuers could not determine from where exactly the noise and sound is coming, and eventually they all stopped as well. On the 19th of December 1993, around 29 decomposing bodies were found in between staircase from the third to the fifth floor of Tower 1. 10 additional bodies were found later on. By this time, the local authority had already deployed the army to assist with the evacuation of residents from Block 2 and 3, Tower 2 and 3 of the Highland Towers, when it was found that the whole area, the particular land, is no longer safe for residents. Finally, the rescue team ended their rescue mission on the 22nd of December 1993 with only 2 survivors and recovering the remains of 48 residents. From the 12th of December 1993, the day after the collapse of the Highland Tower, the Highland Towers had been completely abandoned and it has fell into urban decay. Urban decay. Now that's makeup, right? But let's leave urban decay aside. Let's come to urban legend that has to do with the Highland Tower. Due to multiple deaths that took place in the area of the Highland Towers, some locals, some people have started to say, or rumors just started to spread saying that the area is haunted. The same old, isn't it? When there's multiple deaths, or even sometimes just one death, and automatically the place becomes haunted by some spirits. So now this story was submitted to the internet by a young boy. By now, I think he should be a man. I do not want to tell out the name, but this was allegedly a story, an experience by him and a bunch of his friends who were young people, thrill seekers, rowdies. They just wanted to do something fun for a night, and they explored the Highland Towers area. So one day, this group of friends invited him along. Who is him? Him is the boy. So let's name him A to make it easy, all right? A. So A is the boy who has shared the story to the internet. So his gang of friends have invited him to go and visit the area of Highland Towers just for thrill seeking, Let's see whether there's any ghosts. Let's see whether the place is really haunted or not. At first, A did not want to follow his friends because he was pretty spooked out about all this supernatural thing. But he did not want to get teased. He did not want to be called a scaredy cat or whatever. So he decided, I'm just gonna go. What's the worst could happen, right? A and his gang of friends finally decided to go on this particular night. And with them, they hired a girl who allegedly has the second sight, or she could see the special things, she could see supernatural things. Spooky. Upon arriving to the Highland Tower area, this girl who could see things, she sort of gives them a little briefing session, what to do, what not to do. She told them not to take anything out of that location together with them because that's not good. Do not go near any banana tree. Why? Well, there's a belief that banana trees hosts Pontianak. What is Pontianak, you may ask? Go and check out my previous video. I've done a video in regards to Pontianak. That's a crazy ghost that we believe in Malaysia. So she gives them this briefing session, small little briefing session. She warns them that not all spirits are benevolent. There are many, many, many very dangerous spirits or ghosts that can haunt them, that can kill them, that can follow them back home. So these are what to do. These are what not to do. they sort of listen to her because, to be truthful, A and his gang, they are actually a little spooked out, but they don't want to show that they are weak, you know. They've got to prove they are friends, each other wrong. So they were all putting on a brave face. Right when they entered the building, boom, there was a white, foggy figure about 7-8 feet tall, towering them, standing right in front of them. But the girl who has the second sight, who could see things, just tells them to, relax. That is sort of a protector spirit for that night from other malicious spirits. Right after assuring them that that white, tall fog of a figure is a protector, she warned them not to flash any lights onto the ceilings or into the dark rooms if they don't want to see anything unsavory to their eyes or something that would freak them out for the rest of their lives. By this time, A and his gang of friends, all the brave faces, were scared out of their wits. Like, they just want to get out of there, but they are like sort of like halfway through, so they just continued on walking. But after this few scenes, they did not see anything much, but they heard a lot. A and his gang of friends heard noises of people talking, interacting, playing and speaking, cooking. It sounded like as if though the residents over there were still living their lives, not realizing that death has already claimed them. At a point or at a certain location, when they all reached there, they could hear screaming and shouting and loud crashes, as if though the building was going through the collapsing scene all over again. Many different spots had very eerily cold temperature out of a sudden, and everywhere they walked into, they just had this feeling of someone following them, something watching them throughout the time they were in the area. After about an hour and a half, A and his group of friends have decided, I think we're good. We've seen enough. It's time to go back. It's time to leave. And the seer girl who was with them, the girl who could see things, she agreed with them as well. So somewhat, A and his gang, they are relieved. They just feel like they've conquered this quest. They are safe. They are not possessed. They have not seen anything super scary or whatever. So their brave face is slowly coming up. They are all laughing and talking, and they're headed back to their car. And a couple of meters away from their car, the seer girl stopped them. She stopped them and told them, there's someone waiting for us at the car, and they do not look kind. Again, the group is terrified. They stopped and they are staring at their car, but they cannot see anything. At this point, the seer girl told this group of friends to cite whatever prayer, to say whatever prayer that they've got, any strong prayers, anything that they believe in. She said, go ahead and do that. And she started chanting some, I don't know what, but she started chanting something to herself, hoping that whatever, this somebody, this something that was waiting for them at their car would not follow them back. While still praying, this group of friends started walking as quickly as they can into their car. They started their car and started driving away from that location. And at that particular time, the seer girl turned back and looks at whatever that was standing there and tells the group of friends that those somebodies did not follow them, but they have this terrible eyes glaring right at their car while it's leaving the area. Now again, A and his friends celebrate. They just celebrate a little too soon. So again, after a couple of kilometers away from the Island Tower area, A and his friends started talking back, and they were just relieved. They were sort of celebrating when the seer girl again tells them, do not celebrate. It's a little too soon. This is spirits that we are dealing with. this might not be the last that you're hearing from it or seeing it. Eventually, A and his friends reached an apartment where one of their friends lived. While the friend who lives in that particular apartment was still getting out of the car, the elevator of that particular building opened up abruptly without anyone pressing the buttons, and it just stayed open. Now this car is pretty far away. There's quite a couple of feet, like maybe about 10-15 feet to the elevator, but the elevator just opened up on its own and it stayed open. That's when the seer girl started talking back again. Whenever the seer girl, this girl who can see things, if she talks, it's not a good news. So it's definitely not a good news, because she said, like I was just warning you guys, despite all the prayers that we have just said, one has definitely followed us, and it is right now inside of that elevator looking directly at us. That's spooky. Whew. The friend did not want to get into the elevator, so the group of friends had to wait with this friend in the apartment grounds. None of them were brave enough to go when that something was in the elevator. And this is nighttime that we're talking about. These were thrill seekers, so they wanted to go into the building later at night. I mean, the Highland Towers late at night, and now it's somewhere like middle of the night. So they all waited with this one friend, and they were praying. They were just hoping whatever that it was there would leave them alone. And after some time, the seer girl mentioned that it's no longer there, and now it seems like it's safe for the friend to go back using the elevator. But the friend did not want to use the elevator. The friend requested the help of maybe a few more friends to follow back to their apartment using the staircase. So 2 friends from the group who are brave enough followed this friend using the staircase, left the friend in their house safe and sound, and these friends came back to their car. It was said that each and every member of this friends group, I'm not sure about the seer girl, but A and his friends were extremely spooked out. They did not want to mess with the supernatural anymore. They prayed extremely hard. They have never prayed this hard in their life before, but this time this made them pray. So they prayed and did whatever that they could that night, and eventually each of them did go back to their house safe. And A mentioned to say that he's just extremely thankful that none of them experienced anything else after that. No disturbance, nothing. Good for you, A and friends. Don't mess with the unknown, like really. It's just not worth it. There is also this other story that I found in the internet as well, where there's this teacher who passes by the Island Tower area every other night to go to his tuition center. So his tuition is at night, and after he finishes his tuition and done with everything, by the time he leaves, it's always late at night, and he has encountered multiple disturbance from whatever that's lurking around the Island Tower area. So these kind of haunting stories in regards to the Highland Towers had attracted many different types of people. There are the paranormal enthusiasts who has come down there to prove whether it's true or not. There are people who go down there and offer their prayers requesting for a big win in the lottery. In 2015, a YouTuber visited the ruins and just could not prove that it is haunted at all. There are also many locals who deny any claims of the buildings or the ruins of the Highland Tower is anywhere near to haunted. Yes, there are many drug addicts, homeless people, and stray animals that take refuge in the area, but nothing that screams ghost. End quote. Yep. And that, you guys, is the story of the Highland Towers and its collapse and the alleged hauntings of the Highland Tower of Selangor, Malaysia. What do you guys think of this story? Any fellow Malaysians over here or anyone at all over here watching this who had visited the Island Towers? Not me, nor will I ever. No, I will not. But if any of you guys have any experience, do let me know. If you have stayed until this very moment, thank you so much. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. That means a lot to me. If you guys like this, do leave me a thumbs up. That means a lot to me. I would know that you guys are enjoying what you're watching, and I would make more videos. That is really an encouragement. That really does encourage me. With all that said and done, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys again next time with another video, another story, another hunting, crime, mystery from my country, beautiful Malaysia. Until then, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.